What is going on, guys? JD from New York here. This is WWE Off The Script, and I'd like to thank each and every one of you for tuning in to start your weekend off the right way, man. This is number 32, part number 1. We're going to talk about WWE. I got a lot of news, especially about Brock Lesnar. Big Brock Lesnar news, big Brock Lesnar rumors circulating on the internet. We are going to discuss them. I'm going to fill you guys in on what's being said and what's really going on with the Beast Incarnate, the WWE World Heavyweight Champion, Brock Lesnar. All right, but before I do that and get into the rest of the news this weekend, I want to start off by, shouting out the people that I love and appreciate. All right, number one, if you missed my Monday Night Raw review, another rant because Monday Night Raw was terrible, and I got news on why WWE Raw was so terrible this week. Big news on Vince McMahon and what he did. And you're not going to believe this when I tell it to you, alright? Because it's absolutely fucking foolish. But I got news on Vince McMahon, what he did during Monday Night Raw, just a couple of hours before the show went live on the USA Network. I got news on that for tomorrow. But if you guys missed my Monday Night Raw review rant, as always, it's always been rants for the last 4 or 5 weeks now because the show has been so terrible, so awful. That link is down below in the description. Go and check that out if you missed it. It's about 20 minutes long. We do not want John Cena and Bunny Mania. We want Brock Lesnar. We want Paul Heyman. We want actual WWE talent. We want storylines. We want progression of storylines. I talk about it all right? So go and check that out if you did indeed miss. That link is down below. If you guys missed Off The Script last weekend, go and check that out. I got big news on Roman Reigns. I got big news on Roman Reigns this week. But if you missed last week's Off The Script, that is also down below with my Monday Night Raw review for this week. Number 3, Chair Shot Reality. LeBar, Eisenberg, Ghoulish. The best at what they do on the internet. The best talk show when it comes to professional wrestling. And if you guys want to hear the reality of the wrestling business, nobody does it better. LeBar, Eisenberg, Ghoulish. Go and check them out. WrestleZone.com, Chair Shot Reality. Their link is down below as well. And make sure to subscribe to their YouTube page because they have exclusive content that you will not see on WrestleZone on their YouTube page. So go and check them out on YouTube, on WrestleZone.com, their homepage, and tell them JD from NY sent you. Show them some love. They greatly appreciate it and certainly deserve it. And obviously, number 4, Joe Cronin. I'm going to try and get something started with Joe Cronin again. I know it's been a while. You guys have been asking me on Twitter. You guys have been asking me on YouTube. I don't know what's going on. He's been very busy, but we will get another podcast in. Do not worry about it. If you guys missed his Night of Champions review, I actually called in. I was in the very last segment of that broadcast, so go and check that out. But if you want to go check out Joe's content as well on YouTube and everything else he does, YouTube and Twitter, his links will be down below in the description. Go and check him out. Go subscribe. Go follow. He just hit 10,000 subs. So he's doing his own thing over there, and he's doing his thing, man. He's growing, and that's what we want to do. We want to grow on YouTube. We want to help each other out, and that's what I'm here to do, man. All right? But Monday Night Raw, awful. We know WWE's product is stale. When the product is stale, business for me on here struggles as well because there's not a lot to talk about. There's really nothing for me to actually dissect and talk about. And I've been wanting some solid news. I've been wanting some solid news, but if the WWE sucks week in and week out, there's only so much that I can say, and I don't like coming on here to rant. But we got legitimate news this week, all right? I'm going to start off with one thing that's been circulating. I know Sean's View reported this. I'm not going to believe it till I see it, all right? Small news before I get into the big story this week. Steve Austin. Everybody's talking about Steve Austin making a WWE return. This has been ongoing for years. This is nothing new. This is nothing out of the ordinary, all right? But WWE has told their distributors to start heavy production on Steve Austin merchandise. Expect Austin to return to WWE TV in some form or at least a renewed push of Austin merchandise. As noted in previous weeks, they promoted Austin's podcast on Monday Night Raw. One interesting thing is that Chris Jericho has had a lot of WWE guests on his podcast. Austin has had some WWE guests on his podcast, But WWE hasn't allowed any WWE guests to do the Ross Report with Jim Ross. Now, that's fucked up. I know I talked about that in the past. I love all three. There should be equal amount of love being spread out amongst all three podcasts because they're all three great minds in the business. That's number one. Number two, do not believe the hype. Do not believe the rumors about Steve Austin unless you hear it from a credible source. I'm letting you guys know right now. Do not believe anything you hear about Steve Austin. And I'm not putting down any channel that has reported this. I'm not, putting down any other source that has reported this. I'm just letting you guys know from a logical standpoint. Do not believe anything unless you hear it from a Dave Meltzer, unless you hear it from a Justin LaBar. If you hear it from a credible source, do not believe anything regarding Steve Austin's WWE return. This is all speculation at this point in time. Obviously, he's got some kind of working relationship with WWE since they promoted his podcast. We do not know what that is. If WWE wants Austin back on TV, they will announce it, ahead of time. They will let you know when Austin is going to be there because they want the ratings pop. They want people to tune in. They want people to see Austin. If they're going to have Austin come out, just willy-nilly, on the fly with no promotion behind it, that does the business no good because nobody's going to know. Okay? Obviously, someone as big as Steve Austin, you want people to know that he's going to be showing up on a future show, and WWE will do their best to promote that in advance and build the show around that. That's what they're going to do. You're going to hear it from WWE first. If you don't believe the rumors until it actually happens. I'm just letting you guys know that's my 2 cents on that, okay? Now, issue with Brock Lesnar. You guys were fucking tweeting me yesterday. I'm at work. JD, did you hear about Brock Lesnar, why he's not going to be on the Hell in the Cell pay-per-view? Yada, 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 yada. Okay? Brock Lesnar is fine. He's healthy. He's good to go. He's the WWE champion. Again, another situation where people are talking and spreading rumors and there's no truth behind it, okay? Brock Lesnar is fine. There's no health scare. There's no heart condition. There's no injury. He's the WWE champion, and I'm going to fill you guys in on everything you need to know so you guys are not worrying about what's happening with Brock Lesnar, who is the best thing on WWE TV at this point in time, alright? WWE issued a statement to the Washington Post denying rumors that Brock Lesnar did not appear on Monday Night Raw due to problems with heart health. A theory purported by a writer for WhatCulture.com. Now, I never even heard of this website before. So, WhatCulture.com is reporting that Brock Lesnar may be dealing with a heart condition. This theory is based on Lesnar's physical appearance during his WWE Championship title defense against John Cena at Night of Champions on Sunday, where he was sweating profusely and had turned both red and purple in his face mere minutes into the match. I'm going to stop it right there. This is nothing out of the ordinary for Brock Lesnar. Brock Lesnar is such a physical, dominating character. Okay? He is one of the most intense individuals I've ever seen step into a WWE ring. This is nothing out of the ordinary, man. This is Brock Lesnar. The intensity, the adrenaline that Brock Lesnar exudes in his body and showcases to the WWE audience is unlike anything in the company at this point in time. He's just an intense individual, okay? He goes out there, he works his ass off, and he's physical while doing it. That's all that means. That's not a heart condition. That's not Lesnar having some kind of medical condition, whatever. That's Lesnar being Lesnar, alright? So, obviously, WhatCulture.com doesn't really know the WWE product, let alone Brock Lesnar as an in-ring performer, alright? Now, where the fuck am I, man? He was sweating profusely. He had turned both red and purple mere minutes into the match. The Washington Post highlighted an excerpt from the article which states, the current WWE champion started his match against John Cena with a completely normal look. However, just a couple of minutes into the match, Lesnar was already sweating profusely and had turned both red and purple in the face. This is normal for someone undergoing intense physical exertion. What did I just say? Okay. But Lesnar was barely doing anything of note. A rehearsed wrestling match shouldn't be turning a man purple. It will if you are Brock Lesnar, okay? That's just my 2 cents on that. Fans have noted that in addition to turning red and intensely sweating, Brock also appeared to be struggling for breath. Yes, he's a big guy, but he shouldn't be reacting like this. It's a worrying indicator of health problems such as blood pressure or risk of heart attack. WWE responded to the newspaper's inquiry on the article via emailed statement, saying there is no truth to the rumor about the issues regarding Brock Lesnar's health. The organization did not offer an alternative explanation as to why Lesnar did not appear on Raw. Lesnar was never advertised for Monday Night Raw. He was never scheduled to be penciled in to the show for Monday Night Raw in Memphis, Tennessee, according to PWInsider.com. Lesnar flew back home Monday morning. The Wrestling Observer newsletter confirms other reports from this week that WWE World Heavyweight Champion Brock Lesnar is not scheduled for next month's Hell in the Cell pay-per-view. This week on Raw, the direction of storylines appeared to be Mark Henry turning heel and feuding with Big Show. Please, let me get my fucking pillow. Look, you see this? Mark Henry versus Big Show. A fucking pillow, man. Look, this is going to be me on Monday Night Raw. Fucking bullshit, man. Mark Henry versus Big Show, really? After the fucking Bunny Mania and John Cena being shoved down our throats and Dean Ambrose being pushed out of the way, you want to give us Mark Henry versus the Big Show? Are you fucking kidding me? Absolutely fucking clueless. Clueless! I had to get that out of my system, man. I had to get it out of my fucking system. We go from me reporting about Brock Lesnar's health issues and health concern, which he's completely fine. WhatCulture.com doesn't know what they're talking about. Now I'm getting into what WWE wants to do regarding Hell in the Cell and pushing storylines toward Hell in the Cell, and that's what they got planned. That's what they got planned, folks. Big Show versus Mark Henry. 2 guys on my get off my fucking TV list, man. Along with Khali and Kane. I'm just getting you guys ready, man. I'm just getting you guys ready. Also, the direction they appear to be going in is with Dean Ambrose versus Seth Rollins, but that may not be the case anymore with John Cena, since John Cena doesn't have an opponent for the show, and Rollins is being pushed as a top heel. The company does not have an obvious main event set up for Hell in a Cell, and Brock Lesnar is not booked for the pay-per-view. Okay? He's not booked for the pay-per-view. Since they have 5 weeks to build to the next major show, the idea is that they have time to set up a direction, and there was no need to start pushing the main event for the show yet. Dave Meltzer of the Wrestling Observer newsletter was a guest on Jim Ross's podcast, which I'm currently listening to right now. I still have to listen to the second part of it. He was on the Ross Report in an episode taped this week. If you guys want to download that, go ahead and do so. The two discussed the future status of Brock Lesnar in WWE, whose contract expires after WrestleMania 31 next year. According to JR, there have been no serious discussions between Lesnar and WWE in regards to signing a new deal after his current one is up. Brock Lesnar signed a 3-year deal with limited dates in 2012, making his in-ring return at the Extreme Rules pay-per-view against John Cena. There is still more than 6 months left before his contract expires, so obviously there is still a lot of time for them to figure things out regarding Lesnar's deal. It's been noted in the past that Lesnar has fully recovered from the illness that took him out of mixed martial arts and sparked his WWE return. UFC President Dana White has stated several times in the past that the relationship between him and former heavyweight champion are good, and the door is always open for a potential return, even at 37 years old. Lesnar is 37 years old, and he looks better than he's ever looked in his entire career. Knowing that, should Brock desire to extend his WWE run, he would certainly have leverage and make even more money than he's currently making, which is more than most of the full-time roster. That is all the information you guys need to know about Brock Lesnar, about Hell in a Cell, where the WWE is going at this point in time with the top of the card. Okay? WWE Hell in a Cell may actually be worse than everything we've seen on Monday Night Raw. They have absolutely no idea where to go. None. They got no direction. They got no main event. WWE Championship's not going to be defended. Lesnar's not going to be there. Ambrose versus Rollins makes all the sense in the world for Hell in a Cell. But like I said on my Monday Night Raw review, you kind of pushed Ambrose out of the way. And, you know, you ruined it for the fans to see Ambrose get his redemption on Seth Rollins. Now you're going to add Cena into that. And you're making it as if Cena's agenda is more important than whatever Dean Ambrose was going on with Seth Rollins. There's a problem with that. Alright? Obviously, Cena's got to be on the card, but if you're going to make Cena look more important than everybody else, especially Dean Ambrose when he's developed this feud over months with Seth Rollins, what does that say? You know, what does that say about you thinking about Dean Ambrose? It's disrespectful. That's just the way I see it, man. They bypassed Ambrose to include Cena into this and make him look more important. I have a problem with that. I understand WWE wants to get Cena on the card, but if the idea ever popped into their head, hey, we need to long-term book WWE so we can think things out. They need long-term plans in WWE. This is why the shows have been fucking dreadful. Long-term ideas, long-term storylines, not only extends the fucking interest in storylines, it gets the fans more involved, it gets the fans more invested, there's more consistency on WWE TV. If you're booking on the fly, if you're just randomly making feuds up as you go, if you're rewriting scripts minutes before shows go on the air, things are going to be a clusterfuck, and that's what it has been. It has been absolutely fucking chaos. There's no reason, as a WWE fan, for me, close to 25 years, that I'm struggling now getting through Monday Night Raw. There should be no reason. I've never felt this low about the product in all my years. Even when WWE was being swallowed up by WCW, I still watched everything WWE did, and I didn't give a shit about WCW. I was one of the first guys to not care about what was going on with the NWO. I didn't care about Monday Nitro. I was WWE true and loyal and dedicated to what Vince McMahon was doing. Now, I can't say the same, man. I'm more grown up. I'm more knowledgeable. I know what's going on. I have access to all the information coming out of the WWE. Whether it's true or not, I have an idea of what's going on. But Vince really needs to sit down and think long term. It's better for the fans. It's better for the company. It's more consistent. And there's too many loopholes. If WWE is booking on the fly, they're going to let these small little mistakes just leak into the script with no logic behind them. For example, Dean Ambrose, locked in a closet on Monday Night Raw. Next, he's showing up in the main event underneath a table, interfering in the main event, causing a no contest between Orton and Cena. First of all, how did he get out of the room? You guys are telling me on main event he snuck out the back door. Really? Really? Is that the best the WWE can come up with? Make something up. Be creative. He fucking climbed through the vents. He got out. You know, I don't know. I don't know. There was a fucking sledgehammer. Triple H's sledgehammer was laying in the fucking, in the room, and he fucking knocked the wall down. I don't know, man. Yeah, I escaped through a back door. That's the best you could come up with? That's a big loophole, man. It makes the fucking intelligence of the WWE fan, who's not 6 years old, sitting next to his fucking mother. You know, it makes us look like retards. That's the best the WWE's got. Going into Hell in a Cell, I'm telling you right now, I have absolutely no faith in WWE to produce a card. All the rematches that we're seeing on Monday Night Raw, you guys, I'm sure, are going to see it on Hell in a Cell, and that's another problem. There's no consistency with the fucking product. Hell in the Cell is going to be nothing but rematches. Shit that we've seen. And WWE really needs to cut back on the rematches, man. Because Monday Night Raw, you know, each week, Monday Night Raw should have a different identity from the previous weeks, man. It should be a completely different identity. If you're going to have fucking rematches every week, what does that say about your creative team, your mind about the business, about the product? It means you have none. Why are we watching Night of Champions on the WWE Network for $9.99? Why do you want us to subscribe to the fucking network for $9.99? Why? When all you're going to do is come on Monday Night Raw for 3 hours and give us the same fucking matches that you did on Night of Champions. Henry vs. Rusev happened at Night of Champions. We've seen it on Monday Night Raw again. Absolutely no different from what they did at Night of Champions. AJ Lee beat Nikki Bella. Nikki Bella, AJ Lee won a triple threat match with Paige at Night of Champions. We seen it the night before. The tag team champions, Goldust and Stardust versus the Usos, happened at Night of Champions. What does WWE do? Turn around and book a 6-man tag. The only difference is they included Sheamus and Cesaro. We've seen all 6 of these guys mingle and get into it at Night of Champions in separate matches, yet you're booking rematches on Monday Night Raw. Why? Why? And again, this is the problem. All I do is bitch and complain, but I'm pointing out the obvious to you guys. There's a problem with consistency. There's a problem with long-term booking. If WWE is going to continue on this path, there is going to be nobody left to watch the product. And they're all going to say, fuck you, I'm done. You can't be doing this to the fans. There's a reason why Monday Night Raw rating this week was the lowest it's ever been for the year of 2014, 2.6. I hope, I'm going to end it right here because I don't want to rant. I got other stories for the rest of the week regarding Roman Reigns, Daniel Bryan. I got news on just where WWE's going with, their push towards Hell in a Cell. I'm going to end it here. All right? And I don't even know what the fuck I'm talking about. But that's right. I was going to mention this. Monday Night Raw 2.6 rating. The lowest it's been for 2014. I hope, and I'm shocked I'm even saying this, I hope the ratings tank even lower. I hope they dip into the ones. 1.8, 1.9. I hope they do. Because that is going to be the only wake-up call. When Vince wakes up in the morning, looks at the fucking numbers and sees 1.9 for Monday Night Raw. This is the longest running episodic television show on television right now. This is the flagship show for my business. 1.9, we gotta do something, and we gotta do it now. Vince McMahon is doing whatever he wants. Vince McMahon is senile. Vince McMahon is not doing what makes sense. He's not for the wrestling fan. He's for the business. He's for himself. At some point, you gotta give some to the fans. I understand you need to make money. I understand you need to build the network. I understand you need to get subscribers in on a monthly, weekly, daily basis. I understand this. But if you're going to be selfish about the entire thing, you are nothing without the fans. Give the fans something back. We don't want shit, no effort quality on Monday Night Raw. We know what you can do. We know what you're capable of. If Monday Night Raw is going to be this bad, I hope it gets worse. Just for the simple fact that you see it. And you realize it, and you wake up and say, I gotta do something to get fucking blood flowing back into this product. I need something to rejuvenate this product. I need something for the fans to sink their teeth in and watch. And another thing that Monday Night Raw doesn't do, they don't let you know what's happening the next week. Why are we tuning in next week? Give us something. Give us a future of what Monday Night Raw is going to be for the next couple of weeks. Book a match 2 weeks in advance. Put out a fucking prompt on the screen. Yeah, we got a fucking steel cage match coming in 2 weeks. We got a WWE Intercontinental Battle Royal coming in 2 weeks. There's going to be a tournament set up for the fucking United States title to crown a new #1 contender. Whatever, man. Get people to fucking tune in. Give them something of interest. Just put it out there. Have us tune in. If we're going to fucking be watching Monday Night Raw the way we are now, nobody's going to be left, man. It's a shame that I come on here and say I'm falling asleep by the end of the second hour. That's garbage. It's not what WWE is about. That's not the WWE I remember back in the day. Alright? What I'm hearing about WWE and their push for Hell in a Cell, They don't know what the fuck they're doing. They don't know what they're doing with storylines. They don't know what they're doing with their own fucking talent. They don't even know what they're doing with Monday Night Raw. They don't. It's a shame. I'm disgraced as a fan. And it's just really irritating that people like me have to come on here and just tell you guys how it is. They're not telling you. People like me, Joe, and Sean's View's been actually fucking throwing his 2 cents in. It's fucking garbage. It's trash. And that's how I feel about WWE. I'm going to end this off the script right here. I had other news stories about Roman Reigns. I'll save that for part 2 and part 3. I got news on Roman Reigns, what WWE wants to do when he comes back, why they're rewriting scripts because he was injured, why Vince McMahon is doing what he's doing, and how he ruined and further ruined Monday Night Raw. I got all this stuff coming up, guys. I got news on everything regarding WWE and what's been going on behind the scenes lately. So tune in for part 2 and part 3 of Off the Script. I'm done. I think I went a little bit too long about ranting, but this is how I feel, man. I come on here. This is my way of expressing to you how I feel about the WWE product. No one else is going to listen to me, and I'd rather come on here and share my opinion with you guys, but that's that. If you enjoyed, hit that like button. Share it across YouTube, Twitter, whatever you got to do. Get the name JD out there. Get Off the Script out there. Hopefully, I got a new layout coming for tomorrow, all right? Isaac the Radical, my buddy Isaac, has been with me since day one. The man's a legit fucking beast. He may be more of a beast than Brock Lesnar. He's got a new layout coming for me. I can't wait to see the final product. A little bit more professional, guys. I got the new hat. I got the new layout, and we're about to hit 20,000 subscribers. I got a new home with freedom. I'll be talking about that soon as well. Things are changing, man. Things are changing. JD's brand is evolving, and I want you guys there with me for the ride, all right? Hit the like button, share, favorite, comment, subscribe, all that shit. I'll be back in part 2, guys. Make sure to check the links out down below and follow me on Twitter for more WWE news at JD from NY206 on Twitter, guys. I'm out. I'll see you guys on Saturday morning. Take care, and I'll talk to you all very soon.